I'm going to begin by asking just about working with Wes. I mean, he has this ability to, when he does work with someone, they tend to work with him countless times, which suggests he's someone that people really enjoy working with. What was your experience like working on this one with him?
It was incredibly brief, you know. I probably worked on this film for all of 2 hours with Wes, and I had no idea what to do. He's very enthusiastic. He's very generous, and of course I'm a huge fan of all his films. I was very excited when he asked me to come in, but I didn't know what to do, and he wasn't giving me a ton of direction. I gambled that what was so remarkable about Fantastic Mr. Fox, which was that the very human characteristics of the actors who were playing the animals was attributed to the animals, and there was something really charming about that, rather than funny, kind of cartoony voices. And so I just gambled that there's a sort of very naturalistic and honest interpretation of what I thought a bodyguard dog would do would work, and he was okay with it.
I mean, you mentioned you didn't do too much in terms of like how many hours you sort of dedicated to this, but I mean, the cast is amazing. Did you get the chance to spend time with many people? Is it one of those things just in and out of the booth and then off you go?
No. One of my scenes is with Fisher Stevens, and I spend tons of time with Fisher. He's one of my best friends, and I didn't even see him once. No, I didn't work with anybody except Wes.
Because I mean, it's quite a. I mean, I was expecting it to be maybe slightly more, not comedic, but light-hearted in a sense. It's quite dark. I mean, there's quite a scene sort of early on where they talk about another one of the dogs who hung himself from his own leash.
Yeah,
that's
right.
sort of 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
Were you expecting it when you sort of got the screenplay to have that kind of quite dark undercurrent to it?
I was absolutely expecting the darkness, because I think that's an undercurrent in all of Wes's films. What I wasn't expecting, and what I was really impressed with, particularly at last night's screening, is how many times he pulls the comedic punches. There's so many easy laughs in this movie, and he keeps reaching for genuine emotion, which I thought was very strange in an animated movie about dogs, and yet very, very moving to me as a dog lover and generally humanist person. I thought that was very, very powerful. He went, I felt, very aggressively towards some really kind of intimate and emotional stuff where he could have gone in a much more comedic and entertaining direction.
Because I mean, there's also a kind of political undercurrent. I mean, the way the dogs are demonised by kind of politicians and quite literally in this instance thrown onto the scrap heap. And I mean, it kind of has a pertinence to real life in the sense that in Western society, anyone who's different at the moment seems to be rejected. I mean, in the UK, we voted Brexit almost off the back of the refugee crisis, and then America responded with the Trump vote. Why do you think at the moment in Western society people are... Where do you think the compassion has gone in Western society at the moment?
I'm not sure. I think there's a lot of fear right now, and a lot of xenophobia, and it's unfortunate. And I think, you know, in highly politicized times, films are seen in a political context, and I think the best thing about a great narrative is it has the ability to withstand and to carry all of that extra baggage. A great story does that. A great story sort of touches on what's prescient. And certainly the themes of alienation, the themes of immigration, the themes of isolation and survival are certainly at play in Isle of Dogs. But I think the core message for me is something around the inexplicable nature of that relationship between humans and dogs, where language and shared culture doesn't exist, and yet there's still this incredible capacity for compassion and loyalty and love. And it seems like if that can occur with another species, we should be able to maintain it within our own.
Brilliant. Well, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey